Hey guys, welcome back. So let's jump straight into this tutorial. We're going to start off with the face, and we're using the Garnier Micellar water to cleanse the skin to remove any dirt or oil on the face. For primer, I'm using the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. It's the pore minimizing one, and I love it so much for people with larger, more open pores because it just evens out the skin texture, and I'm just evenly dispersing that all over the face. And then I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Orange, just a little bit, a little bit, because this stuff is super pigmented, and I'm just blending that underneath her eye area to counteract out them dark circles. And then for foundation, I'm using the Studio Fix Fluid in NC37, which is just your standard typical fake tan shade, and I'm just applying that all over her face using a concealer brush. And then I just go in with my damp beauty blender and blend out the foundation and really push it into the skin. This just makes the foundation look super flawless, and you guys know how I feel about my beauty blenders. To conceal and highlight, I use the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I mix two shades together, NC15 and also NC20, and I just place that underneath her eye area and also down the center of her face using a concealer brush. And then I just go in with my beloved and trusty damp beauty blender and start blending that out. I also popped it over her eyelids as well because I'm going to use that as an eyeshadow base. To set down the concealer, I'm using the RCMA No Color Powder on my damp beauty blender. I'm just pressing that into the skin, just placing that underneath her eye area and also down the center of her face. And then I just switch up to a eyeshadow blending brush, a fluffy one, and just dust that over the eye base as well. And then I'm going to set the rest of the face using the Australis Fresh and Flawless Press Powder in Darkest Brown on my big fluffy powder brush by Sigma. Then we're going to move on to the brows. I just like to start off by brushing the brow hair to see what I'm working with. And then for eyebrow powder, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Duo in Chocolate. And I just start out by defining underneath the brow and pretty much just fill in any sparse areas as needed. And when I do get to the front of the brow, you can see that I like to work upwards just to mimic a natural hair shape. And then I just use the same concealer that we used on the face to define and clean up underneath the brow area. Dipping into the Huda Beauty Rose Gold eyeshadow palette, I'm just going to pick up the shade Sandalwood on a fluffy, more tapered brush to kind of fit in the socket, but I really want to blow this color out. This is the key to like a cut crease. I pretty much take that from the inner corner of the eye and then blend it back to the outer corner of the eye, but then also flick it up towards the end of the eyebrow, if you know what I mean. Pretty hard to try and explain, but you guys can see what I mean in the video. Then we're going to dip into the shade Hannah, which is one of my favorite shades from this palette. And we're taking a clean, defined brush. This one is, I think, the Sigma E25, but I will list all the brushes down below in the description box that I used in this video, and I'll also put them in order as well. But I'm really controlling where I place the color, so we're pretty much just going straight over the top of Sandalwood, but we are defining the crease more. Then we're going to dip back into the palette and pick up the shade Bay. It's pretty much just a really neutral, like flesh tone color, which is perfect for this look because I didn't want anything too heavy on the mono lid. As you can see, I'm just packing that on using a flat shader brush, and I also take it up to the brow bone area as well. Next, I just went ahead and dusted off all the excess powder on the face. I don't like to let this sit for too long because it can get really dry. Now using the Maybelline gel liner in Blackest Black, I'm just going to create a wing. I mention this in every video. I do my wings obviously to suit my client's eye shape, so every single wing I do on someone is different, but I pretty much just like to start out with drawing a thin line across the lash line, and then I like to get my clients to open their eyes, so that's when I do the flick. Dipping back in to the same palette, we're going to pick up Sandalwood again, and we're just going to use a small pencil brush. This one's by Sigma. I will leave it down below. I'm just going to start out by taking that from the outer corner of the lower lash line to the inner corner of the lower lash line, and just making sure that I buff out any harsh lines so it's nice and seamless. Picking up that shade Hannah again, we are going to smudge this as close to the lower lash line as possible, taking it from the outer corner to the inner corner. I'm using a really flat, really dense brush to do this. I will leave it linked down below. It's great for this kind of intricate detailed work. It's by Zoeva. I'm not sure of the number though. And then we are just going to place some gel liner in the waterline, just the Maybelline one we used in the start of the video. And then we are going to pop on some mascara to the top and bottom lashes. I also forgot to mention that we did pop on some lashes. I didn't film it though, I forgot to, so sorry about that. Moving back to the face, we're going to warm up the skin using the MAC Gimme Sun bronzer. So we're just going to take this around her cheekbones, her jawline, and also her forehead. And I always like to dust the bronzer down the center of the face, like just above the nose, right down, because I don't know, I just like the look of that. It's really sun-kissed, and yeah, I just love it. Then to give the face a little bit more definition, I'm going to pick up Fawn from the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit and just run that down her cheekbones, her jawline, and also her temple area. This is going to help give the face a little bit more dimension and create some shadows. I did want a more of a chiseled kind of defined look, so that's why I did opt for more of a cool tone bronzer like the Anastasia one. For blush, I used the Milani Baked Blush in Bellissimo Bronze and just applied that to her cheekbone area. And then I just decided to clean up the contour using the RCMA No Color Powder. I just ran that from pretty much the top of her ear down to the corner of her mouth. And then for highlight, I used the Becca Cosmetics Champagne Pop Highlighter on my favorite highlighting brush, which is the Sigma FO something. I will leave it down below. I probably should know it by now considering I use it constantly, but yeah, I just placed that on the tops of her cheekbones, her cupid's bow, and also down the center of her nose. And then for lipstick, we just use MAC Cosmetics Flesh Pot and just place that all over her lips. And then we decided to define the lips a little bit more, so we opt for a darker lip liner. So I use Soar by MAC, which is probably a couple of shades darker than the lipstick we used. And yeah, I just pretty much overdraw her lips a little bit because that's the look she wanted and that she likes. And then I just went ahead and dusted off that excess bakage or powder on the sides of her cheekbones using a very fluffy brush because we don't want to disturb any of the base underneath that. Then to finish the look, I just spritzed the face using the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray and then also put on some gems because she was going to a festival. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and learnt something new. Definitely thumbs up if you did, and I just wanted to say a big thank you to all my subscribers who supported me throughout the year of 2017. I really hope you guys had an amazing Christmas and New Year, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Bye!